What's going on, guys? Paranoid back here bringing you another video. And what I got for you guys today is I told you on Twitter, we took a poll. You guys voted that I said 15 likes, 15 yeses for us to start a series on the channel revolving fitness and how I lost all my weight to enlist in the Air Force, and to make videos about how I could help you guys lose weight and track my journey along with all of it. So without further ado, I'm going to give you an introduction of myself and who I am and why I started my fitness journey. So in about 2017, was it 2017? 2016, late 2016, about August, it was my 19th birthday, and my grandfather arrived at the party. And it wasn't really a party, it was just like a couple family members were at my mother's house. And my grandfather looked at me, and my grandfather doesn't, he doesn't really say much when it comes to this stuff. But he looked at me and he told me that I looked like crap. He said, "You look like garbage. I don't know what are you doing? What are you doing with your life? Honestly." And I was like, "I don't know. I don't." So he told me to get in his car, and he said, "We're gonna go for a drive." We drove to a Starbucks in Lincoln, where I was living at the time. We went to the Safeway Starbucks. We sat down, we got coffee, and we talked. And he asked me what I was going to do with my life. And I said, Grandpa, I really don't know what I want to do with my life. And at that moment, it finally hit me, what am I going to do? I didn't do that well in high school. I couldn't stand high school because at that point I was almost 300 pounds. I really didn't like being there. I got picked on a lot, made fun of. I really didn't want to be there. I'm a very intelligent person. I scored very well in the ASVAB. I do very well for myself now, but I just didn't want to be there, so I didn't try in school. And so there I was, about August 13th, 2016. I was on the scale at about 283 pounds. Here's a picture of me from back then. I'm going to put it right here, and you can see that. I was unhealthy. I couldn't stand myself. I hated myself, and I felt gross all the time. And I told my grandpa, I said, "I don't really know what I want to do." And he says, "Well, will you talk to a recruiter with me?" And I was like, "Man, I don't want to join the military. My family have been trying to push the military on me for years." My dad was in the Air Force. He served, did a tour in Iraq, stuff like that. And I was like, "Man, I really just don't want to enlist. It's the last thing I want to do." And mainly because I'm almost 300 pounds. I'm lazy as shit. I don't really want to do that. So about a week later, make an appointment with the recruiter. Actually, we didn't even make an appointment. We just walked in. My grandpa picked me up from where I was living at the time, my apartment, and we went over to the recruiter. And when I walked in, he looked at me, and what is the recruiter going to think when he sees a 300-pound kid walk into his recruiter's office with his grandfather, at like 9 a.m. And so no one said anything at all. Whatsoever. And we sat there for 35, 40 minutes, and then my grandpa stands up, he goes, "Hello, is anyone gonna help us?" And that's literally how he says hello. It's funny, it says the same way every time. It's hello. And and he said he's ready, he will sign right now. What do you need from him? And every recruiter in the office came running over. It was weird. And so one of them sits down, I'll never forget him. It was Staff Sergeant Valoria. And so I sit down at his desk, and he goes, "Obviously you're overweight." And I was like, "Trust me, bro, I know I'm overweight." And he said, "Well, let's go get your height and your weight, and we'll see where you need to be, and then we'll have you take the practice ASVAB." So he takes me into the back and puts me on a scale, measures me. And I think at the time, he had me at 6'1.5" and 283 pounds. I think was the correct number. I have an Instagram post about it from forever ago. It's 283 pounds, I believe. I'll put the Instagram post in here, right here. Also follow me on Instagram. I'm going to be posting a bunch of stuff about fitness if you want to keep up on there as well. I love interacting with you guys, and I'd like to see your fitness journeys as well. But 283 pounds at 6'1.5", and he says you need to be at 197 pounds at your height. And I looked at him and I said, "Damn, that is a lot of weight." Think about that. That is 86 pounds. 86. That is like a 10-year-old, maybe an 11-year-old. That's a freaking child. That's a 5th grader. That is a 5th grader that I need to lose. And so what did I do? I said, "All right, said, all right, let's go take the practice ASVAB. He wasn't really like wanting to help a whole lot, and then he saw my practice ASVAB score. The practice ASVAB doesn't mean anything. It's literally just like math and English, and it's like a 10-minute quiz of like 35, 40 questions. I got like a 97 on it, and he was like, well, yeah, let's definitely stay in touch. Gives me his number, gives me his card, and I was like, bro, you're trying too hard now. First, you didn't want to help me a couple minutes ago. And so he keeps in contact a little bit, and that was in August. So I walked back into his office in January, set up an appointment to go see him. And it was a different sergeant this time. It wasn't Sergeant Valorius. Someone else was there that day. And at the time, I was about 230 pounds. So I had already lost like 53 pounds in about 4 months. 4 months around there. And I could have lost more. I just wasn't like it. It just sucked not being able to eat. Like I would I'd sneak food out of the kitchen. So what I forgot to mention as well was when I did decide to, go on the weight loss journey, my grandparents, I told them, I said, I can't afford to go eat healthy and to get a gym membership and all this stuff and work and pay for my bills. My grandparents volunteered to have me live with them and pay for all of my expenses the entire time, my food, my housing, my haircuts, my, everything while I lived with them, as long as I promised to enlist, and I fulfilled that promise. So I would sneak. My grandparents always had a candy jar. Every grandparent has one of these, but they had Dove chocolates, and my grandma loved the peanut butter Dove chocolates. And I would sneak those from this little box. It was like a little chest like this big. And I used to sneak them into my room at night. And I'd eat like 4 or 5, and I would bundle them together so it looked like one wrapper, and I'd squeeze it down so it looked like I only ate one if they found the wrapper. And I would do that, and then when they weren't there, my grandma always made cookies, so I'd be eating cookie dough, like anything. I wouldn't go overboard on it, but it was just something to cure my sweet tooth at the time. Now, but at about January, sorry, I was trying to get a train of thought. At about January, I was about 230 pounds, and I still had a lot of ways to go. And that's when things got kind of weird. My grandparents put their house up for sale, and things just took a weird turn. But I'm going to make this a 2-part thing because I'm already at about 7.5 minutes. And so this is going to go up on Thursday the 13th, I believe it is. It's tomorrow. And then I'm going to have a follow-up episode for episode number 2 on Friday the 14th. But yeah, so right now, 230 pounds in January, started in August. Grandparents just put up the house for sale. And yeah, so I'm going to leave you guys there. I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for episode number 2, part 2. I'm going to have a video coming out this weekend regarding meal plans, what you should be looking at, what macronutrients, what they are, how to track them, different things like that. And we're going to be posting some stuff throughout. Also, if you enjoy video game content, I'm going to be posting video game content as well. I love sports, so MLB The Show is the game that's on this channel along with fitness stuff. I'll post some Airforce stuff too if you guys want to see that. But that's going to be all for today's video. If you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on all my social medias. They'll be in the description below. I want to communicate with you guys. I want to talk to you guys. I want to see your fitness journey as well. So yeah, go give me a follow on there. I'll follow some of you back. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out. I love you all, and stay paranoid.